Hello, today we've got something a little bit different, the brand new Land Rover Explore smartphone. This is a tough and rugged device built with the Land Rover brand under license, and it looks to capitalise on a recent boom in popularity for rugged devices in general. Now, the brand Land Rover, they haven't manufactured this themselves, it is under license, and it's under license from a company called Bullet Group, and if that name is familiar to you, it'll be because they manufacture the Caterpillar phones as well. So they've got a lot of pedigree in producing a high quality device under license, unlike some other branded experiments that we've seen over the years. So there's high hopes for this phone, and having had it in the hands for the last few days, I'm very impressed with it. First off, the looks. The side of the phone, we've got the volume and the power button down here. We've got a USB-C on the bottom and a headphone jack on the top. Now, those aren't covered by ports, as you'll probably recognise, so these have been waterproofed. The phone is IP68 water and dust resistant, so both those open ports are fully waterproofed. On the right, we've got the SIM tray. That is a dual SIM, so you can have two SIM cards, or you can have one SIM card and a micro SD to expand the storage. And it's a fairly big phone, as you might expect from a chunky, rugged device. As a comparison, I've got the Cat S31, which is one of Bullet's other devices, and you can see if we put these side by side, the Land Rover main unit is actually slimmer than the S31. It's a bit taller because it's got a larger screen. Cat do an S41, which is bigger again. So for the actual handset itself, it's not the biggest and heaviest rugged smartphone I've seen, which goes in its favour. What does change that is this right here. This is the Adventure Pack, which is a 3,260 milliamp hour battery pack, but it's not just a battery pack. This rectangle here is a ceramic GPS patch, and this is one of the key things that Land Rover and Bullet are wanting to advertise about the Land Rover Explore. So the phone as itself has a GPS installed in it. It's part of the system on a chip, as you'd expect with any modern smartphone. But if you add the Adventure Pack, you can enhance the GPS capabilities. This additional ceramic GPS patch gives you much finer detail, allows you to locate in areas with poorer signal, and it's part of the whole advertising and marketing of the Land Rover Explorer, because this is going to be pushed towards outdoors explorers, ramblers, hikers, people that go out on outdoors adventures. It's an adventurer's phone. You're going to see this advertised in retail stores that specialise in outdoor equipment for enthusiasts, that kind of thing. So whereas the Cat brand that Bullet have manufactured is more towards tradespeople, carpenters, plumbers, that kind of thing, this is more towards your outdoors explorer. And this Adventure Pack works very similar to the Moto Mods, if you've seen those on the Motorola phones. There are some connection points here on the back, and there are some powerful magnets within this back panel and in here. And all you need to do is simply slide that into place, and the magnets will hold it. It won't move. And as soon as you slide it on, you get a message here: Adventure Pack recognised. Would you like to open View Ranger now? And View Ranger is, if you've not heard of it before, a very powerful mapping tool. So the phone has Google Apps and it has Google Maps on it, as you would expect, but it also has View Ranger pre-installed, and View Ranger provide high quality, more detailed maps than you would get from a standard free service. So the built-in maps give you a lot more points of reference, topography, you can see here, and you can upgrade those to Ordnance survey maps. Now, the Ordnance survey level maps aren't included. You do have to subscribe to those with View Ranger, but the standard maps that you get with View Ranger here, as you can see, you get a lot more detail. So it's picked up where we are in Poole in the United Kingdom here at the moment, and then you get a lot more detail in terms of your points of interest, your road colourings for A roads and B roads. So this is a lot more detailed. You've got an altitude measure here. This is a lot more in detail just with the basic View Ranger map than you would get with something like Google Maps for free. So that's pre-installed on the phone, along with a number of other interesting bits and pieces from Land Rover. So we've got the few Land Rover apps here: Land Rover Remote, Route Planner, and an app toolbox. The app toolbox is just a storefront for applications which have been vetted by Land Rover and Bullet. We've got a Route Planner which is powered by Here Maps. Long-standing viewers might remember Here Maps being partnered with Nokia and being their own entity many years ago. They were considered one of the best mapping softwares available. So the Land Rover Route Planner uses that, and the Land Rover Remote. So if you actually have a Land Rover vehicle, which sadly Land Rover weren't willing to provide for the weekend that I've been using the phone, you can use the Remote app to connect remotely to your car or vehicle, and you can check things like the fuel status, whether you've left windows open, the physical location, get the GPS location if your car has GPS installed in it, all sorts of things. You can set the alarm off or turn it off if it's going off. So there's all sorts of extra Land Rover branded applications on here. Now, the phone itself is pretty high spec. It costs £599, and as standard you would get just the base. So if to take the adventure pack off, you just have to push upwards and it slides away and it vibrates and tells me that the pack is removed. So standard for £599 you get just the handset, and it's still a very good smartphone for that money. It's not the highest specification going, but you do get a MediaTek Deca-core. That's the Helio X27 processor, which is pretty high range. We've got 4 gigs of RAM, we've got a 32 gig storage, we've got the micro SD expansion, we've got a 5-inch full HD display with toughened glass. So it's a mid to high range spec. It's not going to be outing the top flagships available today, but it's a very high range spec for the price. And the first orders we get, the phone is due to be released in the next couple of weeks, the first orders we receive will be getting the Adventure Pack for free. This is normally £99, bought separately, but the first orders we receive at Clove will be getting the two bundled together. So you're effectively getting this huge battery pack and GPS edition free of charge if you buy one. As for the rest of the specifications on the phone, we've got Android 7.1. Bullet Land Rover have said that there will be an Android 8 update at some point. But the phone, if we go into the settings, has been doing quite a few updates in the last few days I've had it. So we've got Android 7.1 confirmed there. And if we look at the system updates, we can see that it's got a March security patch. So it's been updated with security patches whilst I've had it, and there should be an Android 8 Oreo update during this year, along with the regular monthly security patches. And you get all the other Android apps you would expect, full access to the Play Store. So this is, for all intents and purposes, a pretty modern, high-spec device in and of itself. But if you are a rambler, an explorer, a hiker, this is an all-in-one unit which Land Rover want you to consider. So rather than having your standard smartphone and maybe buying an external GPS, handheld GPS unit, they would say, right, no, get the Land Rover Explore. You've got everything bundled in together, and with the Adventure Pack, you've got much higher quality GPS than you would get from a traditional smartphone. You've got the quality of an external GPS unit, which may cost, a couple of £100 of itself. And another useful tool is the dashboard, which is located here. So when you open the dashboard, you get this little set of widgets which you can customize what you need. So at the moment I've got a clock, an SOS flashlight. If I press and turn that on, the flash on the back of the phone will start hitting out SOS in Morse code. Got a stopwatch, and you can add more things. If I want to, I can put on, let's say, a widget that shares my location, GPS details to preset contacts. I've got a barometer. I can get my, let's just say, copy selection, yeah, done. So there we go, now I've got a barometer tool on here, an altimeter, latitude and longitude tool. So you can configure this dashboard with a bunch of useful tools which you personalize, which are useful to you. So at the press of a button, you can bring up all of that information that you might want instantly. and then tap it away. And if you press back rather than home, it turns it into a little dot here, which is like a Facebook chat head, which you can leave sat on your home screen, which will layer over all apps, so you can always access that no matter where you are on the phone. If you're watching a video, if you're playing a game, if you're browsing the web, you can always have that dashboard ready at a moment's notice, and then if you don't like it, you just chuck it away like a Facebook chat head. So yeah, that's a really useful, neat addition, which is customized and added specifically for this phone. So there we are. That is the Land Rover Explore. First stock is due April 23rd to 26th, so it's a couple of weeks away, but we are taking orders now, and we have got significant amounts with the Adventure Pack, so if you place your order now, you will get the Adventure Pack with it. Any questions? Put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.